Hey, so this is a completely random video, and I confess I'm slightly tipsy. I believe this is the first video I've made in this state, but not drunk, just a little bit tipsy. I got French wine earlier to to honor France for obvious reasons. Never drink white wine; it gives me a migraine. But there you go. Anyway, what the hell? It'll be interesting to make a video under slightly different guise. No, I want to talk about something rather random. I've just been browsing YouTube videos and came across, well, I was looking at this year's winner of the Eurovision, Mad Simmerlo, the Swedish guy. It's a feel-good song, so I posted it on my Facebook timeline. Excuse me. Um, anyway, I ended up sort of looking at Eurovision songs generally. To my viewers outside Europe, Eurovision, if you don't know, is a huge music contest. It's held every year, and the winner sort of determines the following year's host country. So this year it was held in Vienna because Austria won last year. Anyway, this year Russia was the runner-up. A young lady named Polina, don't know her surname. I thought she was very good, and she came second place. All the countries vote for each other. She's done very well. But an ugly side effect of this was every time Russia was mentioned or Russia was given points by other countries. It's the citizens of each country phone up. It's kind of a text message. You can't vote for your own country for obvious reasons. Anyway, every time Russia was mentioned or anything like that, they were booed. And this I thought was rather ugly. And that's kind of the purpose of this video. I want to just talk about how people have to be differentiated from their governments. There's a tribalism in human nature that can be a bit nauseating. Um, how many times have we heard you insert nationality people this, you insert nationality people that? Partly it's because people are willing to defend their governments. There's a nationalistic defensiveness, so that gets into debates. I've been involved in my share of debates where I've defended the United Kingdom, but I've also tried to be consistent and criticise the UK of things that we in this country that are where we have serious flaws. But what I'd like to say is I think it's stupid. I know this is kind of outdated now because this was back in May, but it's also for the general issue. I think it's stupid booing or criticizing or attacking someone because of the actions of the government, especially in a non-political event, or at least an event that shouldn't be political. It would be a bit like, I don't know, booing Chinese athletes in the Olympics because of the Chinese government's silencing of journalists. That would be the equivalent. It's stupid. Or I don't know, attacking British tourists because of the policies of the British Foreign Office. It's just stupid attacking citizens of a country, people not involved directly in politics, for the actions of the government. It's different if you're in a specific debate and a person is defending the actions of the government in that contentious position. But I'll give an example. I despise the regime in Saudi Arabia of being quite blunt about that. But I would never say that I hate all Saudi people. That would be stupid. It's not about being politically correct. It's just about common sense. You can't generalize whatever the population of Saudi Arabia is. I think it's 19 million, 23 million, something like that. It's a lot of people. You can't say they all share the theocratic bullshit of the government. Um, I mean, Saudi Arabia has theocratic bullshit, but it's also got brave young people like Raif Badawi. So that to me indicates that you just cannot generalize any nationality. You cannot blame people for what their governments do or what their ancestors do for that matter, have done for that matter. Um, it's just stupid. And this is not a call for anarchy, like, oh, let's all rise up against the governments. It's not like that, but it's kind of just stating the obvious. And it's fucking stupid, and I do get tired of it sometimes. I think it divides people. I don't want to be hostile to Russian people because I don't like what their government's doing, or the Saudi people for that matter, or to any government. It's it's just a stupid way of thinking. It's different if someone's going out of their way to make excuses and take a very nationalist line and kind of like they're vocally nationalistic. That's different. If someone is vocally nationalistic, then they're inviting confrontation, they're inviting debate. But if someone's just minding their own business, it's not their fault where they're from. Stupid. It's really, really stupid. I remember around the time of the war in Iraq, there was a widespread anti-Americanism around. There still is to some extent, although I would say to a lesser extent than then. And it was again stupid. People who attack Americans. You're talking about 328 million people, one of the most diverse countries on earth. Attacking the Chinese again is equally idiotic. I mean, you're attacking 1.4 billion people. 1.4 billion people, you're going to have enormous range of diversity in terms of conscience and opinions. Same with India, same with any country, even small countries this applies. So, as people, we need to just treat people as people and not as nationalities. It's similar to the race thing, like seeing the world through the prism of race. Like, you blacks this, you whites that, you Asians this, and all the rest of it. It gets so fucking tiresome. Um, so yeah, that's it really. People need to just. I'm not saying they shouldn't have opinions. I'm not saying you can't criticize a particular government. And especially if you're on the front line, that's understandable. I mean, if you're a Ukrainian, you're not going to have particularly warm feelings. If you're like on the pro-European side, you're not going to have particularly warm feelings towards Russia or Russians. But still, it's important to recognize that, for example, there were Russians who were opposing Putin's policies in Ukraine. And this applies to every country. So when people sort of criticize and attack the West for the actions of Western governments, they need to remember that not all people in Western societies agree with those policies. That's what, like, when terrorists justify their attacks by saying, "Oh, you voted for your government, and this is the revenge." They're overlooking the fact that in democracies, especially, not everyone votes for that particular government. People may well be protesting on the streets against that government. Bloody terrorists don't care who they kill. They don't specifically. It's not as if they kind of kill people based on the political designation. They just kill people because they're murdering bloody barbarians, and that's there's no moral equivalency here. Like, I put it on my timeline yesterday. I'm going to round this up pretty soon, but I'm just going to finish off this rant. That it would be ridiculous for anyone to chirp out that line, one man's terrorist and there's no man's freedom fighter. Okay, I'm going off topic a bit here, but no one should be quoting that line right now because these fuckers who attacked Paris were not freedom fighters. Let's get that very clear. They said for Syria, but they were not. They were not doing this for women and children in Syria. They are very happy to enslave women and children in Syria, and a lot of them aren't even Syrians. So it's very, very important that we never give them a platform of moral argument because they have none. Ah, anyway, I am a bit, I've had a few drinks, so I'll close up this video now because there you go. That's Nathan Hazlitt talking when he's had a few drinks. So be it. Um, yeah. So the fundamental point of this video is don't judge people by their governments or by their nationalities, unless they're being overtly nationalistic themselves. But it's ridiculous attacking tourists, people traveling, or people minding their own business or whatever because of what their government is doing. It's just stupid. That's my message for the video.